90-Day Fiancé's Gino is his own worst enemy in Season 10, and it's beyond disappointing to watch as a fan. Warning! The following contains spoilers for the 90-Day Fiancé Season 10 episode Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace. Read at your own risk. Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo already had me wishing the franchise would move on from spotlighting the couple, and this week's 90-Day Fiancé EP only strengthened that feeling. Just when it seemed like they might have cast aside the silly notion that a bottle of lip gloss found beneath a seat was undeniable proof that Gino is a cheater, he immediately gave Jasmine more fuel to justify some of her already over the top. As a fan who only wants the best for all couples, despite knowing better, I'm frustrated and disappointed in what the newest installment revealed about him. Just after Gino assured Jasmine that he'd never cheat and wouldn't hide anything, one family member ratted him out with the admission that he threw a bachelor party at a strip club ahead of Jasmine arriving in the United States. While viewers watching on TLC or with a Max subscription may not have found that situation especially egregious at face value, it was something Jasmine specifically requested not happen. Viewers were left hanging when it comes to what the fallout will be, but as someone who has watched this duo for a long time, by reality TV standards, I can't express enough how upsetting this is. Gino has a history of being untrustworthy. 90-Day Fiancé makes a point of frequently showing that Jasmine has trust issues, but isn't always as quick to prove why she has every reason to be paranoid, given the history of the relationship. Let's not forget their inaugural season featured one of the wildest fights in 90-day history. For those who didn't experience it, Jasmine discovered Gino shared her nude photos with one of High and talked about having multiple sugar babies that he allegedly sent money to. Gino was again exposed for being shady, when it was revealed during a tell-all EP that he had reached out and chatted up a female friend of cast member Ben Rathbun. While their conversation wasn't shown to have been explicitly inappropriate, it violated Jasmine's rules in a way that indicated he hadn't changed or learned from his first season's controversy. Gino shows Jasmine is justified in being suspicious of him. Jasmine does have various hang-ups that don't exactly make for easy romancing, and her wildly upset reaction to Gino's prenup request during their previous season was inarguably over the top. But with that said, her feelings and actions in the couple's earlier arguments seem far more valid when incidents like the strip club visit continually pop up. It has me wondering if they will be one of those 90-Day Fiancé couples who split after marriage, especially when it's the same pattern of events that are happening again and again. With the exception of Rob Warren and Sophie Sierra, who are seemingly no longer together, I can't think of another couple in Season 10 who seems less prepared for marriage than this duo. 90-Day Fiancé Season 10 airs on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Stick with this season as we continue to see couples prep to exchange vows or decide that they're better off looking for love elsewhere. Mick Jost is a content producer for Cinema Blend with his hand in an eclectic mix of television goodness. Star Trek is his main jam, but he also regularly reports on happenings in the world of Star Trek, WWE, Doctor Who, 90-Day Fiancé, Quantum Leap, and Big Brother. He graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a degree in journalism and a minor in radio and television. He's great at hosting panels and appearing on podcasts if given the chance as well. Wildest moments from Gino and Jasmine's major fight. Warning. The following contains spoilers from the 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days episode Bad Romance. Read at your own risk. 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days. Gino Palazzolo and Jasmine Pineda's story has been dramatic so far, but not necessarily as engaging as other storylines such as Ben Rathbun's mahogany situation. At least until this latest episode, that is. There have been fights over exes, controversial moments that significant others don't appreciate, akin to Kimberly and Usman's recent scenes, and suspicions that the other person isn't being completely honest about their intentions. The latest episode took that to another level, however, with a jaw-dropping discovery from Panama City's Jasmine about her Michigan boyfriend. An ex-girlfriend of Gino's messaged Jasmine and informed her that Gino sent topless photos of Jasmine to her while on vacation. Additionally, Gino bragged about rewarding his SBs, or sugar babies, with money, implying that he's meeting up with other women back in America and paying the money for undisclosed reasons. The reveal was, quite frankly, a whole lot, and it led to the wildest before the 90 Days confrontation of this season so far. Let's break down the highlights, all of which were just incredibly painful to watch. Gino trying to justify sending nudes of Jasmine to his ex. Jasmine had Gino dead to rights, and there was no denying what he did. Jasmine wanted answers, and the best Gino could come up with was he sent the pictures to Hai to brag about how hot Jasmine is. When Jasmine continued in saying that sending nude photos violated her privacy, Gino corrected her and said they were only topless photos and not nude shots. Sheesh, my dude. 90 Day Fiancé fans who didn't see the moment in its entirety can probably still guess that it wasn't exactly the best time to argue semantical logistics in the face of Jasmine's complaints. Is there a difference between topless and nude? Perhaps Stephanie Motto is the person to ask here. Jasmine stealing Gino's hat. Gino cusis and general attitude wasn't something Jasmine was keen on tolerating. She was humiliated, and I'm assuming because of that, she decided to hit Gino where it hurt and pulled off his hat mid Gino immediately pulling out another hat. Jasmine stealing the hat right off Gino's head was wild enough, but who would have thought Gino immediately had a backup hat on standby? Gino's bare head was visible for only the briefest amount of time as he immediately grabbed his bag and whipped out a spare hat to cover his head. Not quite like Bugs Bunny pulling a mallet out of thin air, but not entirely unlike it, either. Obviously, this moment was shocking for a completely different reason than other moments from the fight, and it might just replace Charlie Pothest getting the microphone during Elizabeth and Andre Castrovet's wedding. Producers making Jasmine leave the room. Gino and Jasmine's journey isn't done yet, though, as new episodes of 90 Day Fiancé, before the 90 Days airs over at TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know about other viewers, but I'm already very curious to see how this tell-all encapsulates all the drama so far. Mick Jost is a content producer for Cinema Blend with his hand in an eclectic mix of television goodness. Star Trek is his main jam, but he also regularly reports on happenings in the world of Star Trek, WWE, Doctor Who, 90 Day Fiancé, Quantum Leap, and Big Brother. He graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a degree in journalism and a minor in radio and television. He's great at hosting panels and appearing on podcasts if given the chance as well. After 90 Day Fiancé's Jasmine walks home barefoot over fight with Gino, troubling rumors about their relationship have me curious. Warning! The following contains spoilers for the 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Episode Weeping Beauty. Watch the episode with a Max subscription and read at your own risk. Is a 90 Day Fiancé truly underway if Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo haven't had their first knockdown drag-out fight of the season? Their constant fighting makes them great subjects to pump up the drama in the Happily Ever After? Season 8 cast, but one has to wonder when either will reach a breaking point. The answer may be sooner rather than later, as troubling rumors surfaced in the days leading to viewers watching Jasmine walk home barefoot. Gino wasn't willing to talk much about what happened, nor offer a ton of apologies for what occurred. This lack of engagement enraged Jasmine, and things got so heated that producers intervened and made Jasmine leave the room before the situation escalated further. I think it's definitely a rare occurrence for crew members to actively intervene during moments meant for airing, which makes one wonder how far things would have gone had the two not been filming for 90 Day Fiancé when this occurred. Truly a wild situation, and one has to wonder what's next for the potentially soured couple. Fight, exposing the top of his head. Gino has spoken candidly about his male pattern baldness all season, and how he rarely spent time without a hat on as a result. In the moment, Jasmine did it to embarrass her boyfriend on camera, perhaps in an attempt to make him understand how she felt in the moment or just to hurt him. It almost felt like something we'd expect to see from Angela Deem and Michael Ilasami. Jasmine kicked off her shoes and began walking home on the hot pavement after Gino balked at the idea of paying an entry fee for her to take part in a beauty pageant. She was furious her husband was worrying about money when the pageant was one of the only things bringing Jasmine joy since moving from Panama to Michigan. It's fair to say she was also frustrated she had no control over his money. While this spat didn't seem any more dramatic than the wild major fight they had years before, recent rumors suggest there's reason to believe Jasmine and Gino are no longer together. Photos surfaced online of Jasmine in another man's home. Rumors have sprung up in recent days via 90 Day Fiancé update, which alleges Jasmine is seeing a man she met at a Planet Fitness in Michigan. The post goes to show alleged evidence of her and this man, reportedly named Matt, having meals in the same place, and there's even a picture of her in lingerie in what is believed to be his couch. Surely, this isn't something Gino would approve of, though he may not be able to publicly address anything due to NDAs he might have signed in his involvement with the 90 Day Fiancé franchise. Did Jasmine and Gino really split? As mentioned, Gino likely can't talk about anything currently happening with his relationship with Jasmine, as doing so could impact viewer interest in his current storyline in Season 8 of 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After. His most recent post following rumors about Jasmine living with another man in Michigan is very interesting, however, and kind of gives a hint of what he's feeling right now. Those who check out Jasmine's Instagram will notice it takes a long time to scroll to find a post with Gino in it. The most recent one I saw dated back to. While I'll admit I had publicly wished the franchise would move on without them, I can't say this is the way I would have wanted to see it happen. I'm also not shocked they might no longer be together, provided these rumors of Gino and Jasmine being the latest married 90-day couple to split are accurate. It seemed as though his insistence on trying to have a baby with Jasmine but also dropping the ball on getting the process started on bringing her children over from Panama may have been a powder keg waiting to explode, and could ultimately be what drove them to split. If the rumor is true that Jasmine is dating another man in Michigan, I'm a tad surprised she didn't return to Panama. Season 10 of 90 Day Fiancé showed us a different side of her as a mother, and it's clear she missed her children after going to Michigan. That alone has me a little skeptical about whether or not this rumor is valid, but I will admit there's enough to make me want to keep an eye on both of their pages for more updates. Jasmine and Gino's story continues on 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, which is on TLC on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I do hope next week picks up on just how far Jasmine walked without her shoes on, because I'm not confident I'd make it all that far myself without accepting a ride home the rest of the way. Mick Jost is a content producer for Cinema Blend with his hand in an eclectic mix of television goodness. Star Trek is his main jam, but he also regularly reports on happenings in the world of Star Trek, WWE, Doctor Who, 90 Day Fiancé, Quantum Leap, and Big Brother. He graduated from the University of Southern Indiana with a degree in journalism and a minor in radio and television. He's great at hosting panels and appearing on podcasts if given the chance as well. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After's big brawl with Jasmine and Gino's girlfriend Natalie was allegedly more vicious than what TLC showed. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Season 9 had one of its wildest moments recently, as Jasmine Pineda went after Gino Palazzolo's new girlfriend, Natalie. The couple is headed to divorce, but not before. Showcasing all the reasons they should have gone that route to begin with rather than explore an open marriage. There's even a rumor that the fight was more violent than what TLC showed, and if that's true, I'm surprised the cops weren't called. Gino and Natalie already seem like a better couple than he ever was with Jasmine, but I don't think anyone was going to say that during the party they all attended for Gino's cousin. It was chaotic, and I'm raising my eyebrow at a recent rumor that claims someone might have escaped the encounter with a sizable goose egg on their head. Jasmine and Natalie's fight allegedly had more violence than what was shown. 90 Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After's fight between Jasmine and Natalie was broken up quickly, but apparently, that might be because of editing. A new rumor from 90 Day insider Shabuti noted that the incident went on for an hour, to the point that TLC had to halt shooting until cooler heads prevailed. He also noted that there was one particularly violent moment that wasn't shown in the episode. Allegedly, Jasmine picked up a pool ball from a table in the bar and struck Natalie in the head with it. No further details were given beyond that, but one would imagine that'd be grounds for Natalie to press charges against Jasmine, and I'd have to wonder why she didn't if that happened. No one should have let these two meet. I initially wrote about being upset that Gino's family set this up, but really, there are more people to blame for Natalie and Jasmine's face. Sure, the producers must create drama for the audience, but I think setting up a woman to be attacked by a man's soon-to-be wife is a step too far. I think this is especially true given Jasmine has a well-documented history of outbursts and violent behavior when filming 90 Day Fiancé. That said, even when she had her big showdown with Natalie Mordovtseva on 90 Day, The Last Resort, she never actually put her hands on her. I've just realized we now have two incidents in this franchise where Jasmine fought with someone named Natalie in a bar, which is quite a bizarre coincidence. We have seen Jasmine get aggressive before, like when she ripped Gino's head off his head when he found out he'd sent her nudes to an ex-girlfriend. She also threw a high heel at Rob Warren in The Last Resort Season 2 Tell-All, but for those who don't know, that occurred after this currently airing season of Happily Ever After. As readers might have noticed, she's not pregnant in this season, though she will be down the stretch. HBO Max. Plans start from $9.99 a month. Get your fix for all things 90 Day Fiancé with HBO Max. Pay $9.99 a month for its with ads plan, with 3 tiers available for an HBO Max subscription. You can also prepay for a year and save up to 20%. All this to say, even Gino deserves blame for dragging Natalie into a situation that had more than an inkling wouldn't be safe. I think it's safe to say his new girlfriend might be the only person in that scenario who expected Jasmine to show up and act civilized and cordial. A calm person would have trouble doing that given their situation, so it was almost guaranteed she was going to fly off the handle. Not that Jasmine gets a pass for potentially felony-worthy attacks, but I don't believe for a second that outburst was spontaneous. 10 Worst Couples in the 90-Day Fiancé franchise, ranked. Throughout the years, 90-Day Fiancé and its 20 spin-offs have seen their fair share of tumultuous couples. The original reality series focused on international couples who wanted to bring their fiancés to America on a visa. Over the years, its popularity soared, leading to various spin-offs, like 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Or 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 days that deviated slightly from the original premise. While couples like Loren and Alexei Brovarnik have an amazing love story, not all duos have had the same luxury. Overall, many of these couples, like Danielle and Mohammed Jbailai, took a leap of faith, ignored all the red flags, and married someone they only spent days with in person. As their stories unfolded, some couples proved to be incompatible and gold diggers, only after a green card and a credit card. Others were emotionally abusive, humiliated their partners publicly, and showed themselves to be just some of the worst stars to appear in the franchise. There's definitely no shortage of terrible 90-Day Fiancé couples. Here are some of the worst couples to appear in the franchise and why. 90-Day Fiancé, top cringeworthy moments from Jasmine and Gino's blow-up. Episode 9 of 90-Day Fiancé, before the 90 days featured a major blow-up between Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo, and scenes showing their conflict made viewers cringe. Jasmine is a fierce woman from Panama who lacks confidence, despite her beauty. Gino is a 52-year-old from Michigan who hasn't had much success in the dating field, either. After talking for several months, the two believed that they found what they were looking for in each other, and Gino flew to Panama to meet Jasmine for the first time. Issues between these two became apparent on the very first day when Gino gifted Jasmine an electric toothbrush and a pregnancy test. Unfortunately, their relationship continued to spiral downward, as every episode featured a major confrontation. The latest episode was the worst of them all. While on a romantic weekend getaway, Jasmine found out that 90DF's Gino sent her topless nude photos to his ex. Jasmine was clearly upset, and later that evening, she went back to the room to pick a cringeworthy fight with Gino. Jasmine questioned Gino about sending the photos. At first, Gino tried to play it cool by thoughtfully denying the accusations. It wasn't until she revealed the pictures that he admitted to his wrongdoing. However, he was quick to justify his actions by clarifying that it was to make Hai jealous. That was a truly cringeworthy moment. Threatening to return the favor, Jasmine was humiliated and spent the better part of the day drinking wine at the beach. Later that night, she stormed into the room, ready to confront 90DF's Gino once again. At one point, Jasmine thought that payback would be the more satisfying route and asked Gino how he would feel if he revealed his nudes. However, that wasn't enough, as she quickly fired back with snarky remarks about how unimpressive and embarrassing his pictures would be. Stealing Gino's hat. It seems as though that wasn't enough embarrassment for Gino, as she revealed stunning information about Hyperions with sugar babies. Gino appeared calm, which seemed to fire Jasmine up more. In the middle of arguing, she snatched his beloved hat, revealing a small patch of hair. However, Gino was ultra-prepared as he pulled a second hat out from his bag. The episode concluded with the production crew intervening and separating.